Paranormal podcast contains content that might not be suitable for some listeners. Listener discretion is advised. This is Paranormal Podcast. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We missed you. Sierra hopefully is awake enough for me.
I can do it.
Guys, I'm not even exaggerating when I say a few moments ago when we were recording the last episode, Sierra fell asleep a couple of times. I love her to death, but she did. I was like, I don't know what to do, so I'm just going to keep talking. Guess what? I just kept talking.
I came back.
that you did. All right, so welcome back to Paranorm, the podcast where we talk all things true crime and paranormal. If you don't already remember, I'm Emily.
I'm Sierra. I'm here for it.
Who was hopefully awake for this episode. I'm just messing with you. Please don't be mad at me. This week...
You're fine.
Okay. This week we are talking about some alien bitches.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Me too. But before we do, we good? We have anything else we need to say?
Oh, man.
Long pause. Long thought process.
If you have any good holiday cookie recipes.
Oh my god, yeah. Just like DM them to us, email them to us, Paranormal Podcast on all of the things at Gmail, on Instagram.
Yeah, please just let us know, because
I need cookies, motherfuckers.
like all the time she needs cookies.
Seriously, that's not an exaggeration. We have Sierra went to this cookie trade thing. I don't really know how it works, but she came back with a whole bunch of cookies, and I was just so ecstatic. And then our other roommate Chloe made some cookies last night with her boyfriend, and I got some yummy ones. So guys, I need cookies. Okay.
It's a serious thing.
It's a very serious topic. So yeah, send us those. That would be a cute idea, Sierra. Alrighty, you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so let's get into this week's / second part of this week. Part B, but not really, because this has nothing to do with Dr. No.
It's not part 2, it's part B. It's a totally different thing.
Question 1A, that was the other episode. Question 1B is this one. All right.
It's like a bonus, but we're just catching up.
Yeah, because we love you motherfuckers.
You're welcome.
So, with the help of our new roomie, I know I keep talking about her, but this is really weird and I have to tell you about it because I didn't tell you about it yesterday.
Okay.
I don't think. I might have. Who the fuck knows?
I don't think you did.
Okay, so with the help of our new roomie and her boyfriend, when I told them to name a state, one of them guessed South Dakota and the other one guessed North Dakota.
Whoa.
Isn't that so weird?
That is.
So we were talking about the infamous incident in Fargo, North Dakota. It's very weird.
Okay.
So my sources for this week are inform.com, flipboard.com, archives.gov, which I feel so official saying, and Project Blue Book itself, which, have I talked about that with you yet?
You mentioned it before, yes.
Okay, which is a collection of all of the collective extraterrestrial UFO sightings, all that big mamma jamma stuff.
Okay, you probably during the first encounter.
Yes, yeah.
Thing.
Okay, so we're just gonna get right into it. Okay, so this has become known as the Gorman dogfight and is one of the most well-known 20th century UFO stories. It is also one of the most credible, considering the man who claimed to see the flying saucer was an accomplished World War II veteran and pilot, and at least 3 other witnesses were experienced aviators. So I'm going to read you a little excerpt from the Fargo Forum sports editor, Eugene Fitzgerald. He is the one that wrote the first little blimp about it, on October 1st, 1948. So at a football game, it was the Bisons against the Augustana, Who the fuck knows at this point? I don't know anything about football. Fitzgerald's prediction of that game would feature more passing than rushing. I don't know what the fuck that means.
The rushing is where they run the ball.
Okay, sure.
Run with the ball.
Sure. Okay, so, quote, the NDSU won that night, 14-6, hardly a show of aerial dominance. So congratulations. I don't know. I felt like I needed to give you guys some background into this football game. So Fitzgerald's headline turned out to be pretty strangely how do you say that? Prophetic, as there was a pretty spectacular aerial display in the sky that night. It became the subject of a U.S. government investigation. Super cute, super fun.
So
love it.
Instead of investigating how much the football gets thrown in the air, they're investigating extraterrestrials.
Basically.
Gotcha.
The files of which have only recently been declassified and opened for like the public to see, which we know because we were talking about that the other day, you and I, about how the Pentagon confirmed that aliens were real, and it's so 2020, nobody gave a fuck. So
just like,
whatever. And like I said, this was known as the Gorman dogfight. For years, reports of what happened that night came from eyewitnesses, and Gorman is the name of the guy, like the last name of the guy. Eyewitnesses and Gorman himself. But now that the files have been declassified and more details have emerged, the incident was featured on a History Channel show called Project Blue Book, which I cannot find anywhere. Like, on, like, any of our streaming services, and we have a bunch of streaming services, guys. Like, I have a problem. So if you guys find it, let me know, because, like, I really want to watch the show, you know?
Yeah.
According to columnist Kirk Eriks-Moen, who wrote about Gorman in the forum in 2011, Gorman was born in July 7th, 1923.
That's my birthday. Sorry. I get really excited about that. It's like a thing for me.
Okay. I'm so glad. You crack me up because I just like went right over it. All right, anyway, the day that Sierra was born, but like she was negative.
Way before.
Like negative a lot. To Norbert and Roberta Gorman, which is...
Oh, Roberta, that was my grandma's name. Well, not my grandma, but one of my grandmas.
Oh, cute.
I think.
You think?
Wait, let me try that again.
You think that was one of your grandma's name? You have to keep this in, man.
Not my grandma, I'm sorry. It's my aunt, I guess.
Like a great aunt?
I think it's my dad's sister.
Oh, that would just be your regular aunt.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Anyway, somebody in my family on the other side.
Who may or may not be named Roberta.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well,
Anyway.
let's keep this vibe, because I feel like I'm all over the place too, so let's keep it, man. Oh, God, and I'm just, like, jumping from point A to point B, back to point A. Oh, also point D's in here somewhere. Let's talk about football.
That went downhill real fast.
This whole episode's going to be downhill, man. You guys are so welcome.
I better strap in.
Seriously. Okay, anyway, Norbert and Roberta Gorman. He grew up in Fargo, where his father was a Cass County agent. During World War II, Gorman became a B-25 instructor for French aviation students. When the war was over, he returned to Fargo and was employed as a manager of a construction company. When the North Dakota Air National Guard formed at Fargo's Hector Airport on January 16, 1947, Gorman joined the squadron as a second lieutenant. He was flying his P-51 Mustang with other guard pilots in the early evening hours of October 1st, 1948. Part of their flight path was over the old Dakota field. Also, Dakota is spelled differently. It's it's with a T-A-H at the end.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So it's spelled a little differently, also with a C in the middle instead of a K. It's just a whole weird thing.
Okay.
So that was the field where the North Dakota Agriculture College Bison football team played its games. According to North Dakota State University Assistant Athletic Director, holy fucking shit, Ryan Perrault, the field was slightly south of the current Dakota field at 1310 17th Avenue North. So if y'all for
Ever
some
go
reason,
there.
if you ever go there, there's the address. Quote, Dakota Field at the time was located adjacent to Churchill Hall in the center of campus where the Memorial Union and the Glen Hill Center now sit. So kickoff was at 8, which is, I feel like, a normal time, right?
I feel like it's a little late.
A little
yeah.
late? Okay. As you guys can tell, I know all of the things about the sports.
I mean, as far as I am familiar with, it was like 7 or 7:30.
Okay. About a half hour later, most of the pilots flying decided to call it like a night. But Gorman wanted to get more flying time in, so according to the story in the Fargo dated October 3rd, 1948, Gorman was flying near Hector Field, about 2.5 miles from the football field, when an air traffic controller told him about a small Piper Cub in the area. He acknowledged the smaller plane about 500 feet below him, but a few minutes later he spotted something else. He said that it was a flying disc with a round, well-defined edges, brilliantly lit, and a how do I say this? It was like hovering/circling over the city. He asked the tower about it, about the flying disc, and they said they only saw Gorman's plane and the Piper Cub. Piper Cub. Why can't I get that? It's not even that hard. The object was not showing up on radar.
Nice.
Yeah. Gorman, homeboy, decided to investigate, but as he got closer to the object, it suddenly got brighter and it shot away from him. He estimated it was flying about, around 250 miles an hour, but it accelerated to 600 miles an hour. Gorman's plane could only fly about 400 miles an hour.
Oh, okay. So he couldn't, get to it.
So he lost the object, but it came back and flew right in front of him, which goes along, again, with what we were saying a couple episodes back about how they seem to fly in, this very pinball-like manner with almost, no...
restrictions
yes,
on how they can maneuver.
Yeah, I couldn't think of the word, thank you. But yeah, it's just so wild. Quote, when the object was coming head on, I held my plane pointed right at it, Gorman said. He goes on to say that the object came so close that he this is hilarious because this makes me think of something. I'll tell you in a second. It came so close that he ducked his head because he thought the crash was inevitable. And then the object zoomed over his head, which makes me think of this time that I was driving down the road with my friend in the car, and a leaf flew at the windshield, and she ducked.
Yeah. You just see something flying at you, and you're like, oh crap.
Yeah, she full on ducked. It was so funny. Oh my god. So the dogfight, which are it's kind of like, what's the thing where two cars drive together?
Chicken.
It's kind of like chicken, but in the air. It lasted for 27 minutes.
So they just got the UFO just helped trying to get, or coming at
just
him.
Fucking with homeboy Gorman.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Which is a lifetime, basically, when you're up in the air with an unidentified flying object,
almost dying 20 million times.
Yeah. So the declassified documents included a diagram Gorman drew of what went on in the air. The History Channel's Project Blue Book, and UFO historian Richard Dolan said the detailed drawing tells us a lot. It, quote, shows that you've got an experienced, seasoned World War II fighter pilot who is dealing with a light phenomenon that is clearly outperforming his aircraft, which is just, it's wild because you, like he said, you have an experienced pilot who is used to like maneuvering this hunk of metal in the sky in like dangerous, situations.
Yeah.
And he can't keep up, So
there's literally nothing he can do.
Yeah.
He couldn't do it any better than he was, and he still would not have been able to.
Yeah. Keep up. And
the technology was just not there.
Yes. So Gorman was said to have been so shaken after the incident that he had trouble landing the plane.
Whoa.
Yeah. He told the Fargo Forum later that it was the weirdest experience I've ever had. It's like, okay, Gorman, I see you. After Gorman told his commanding officer what happened, the incident was referred to Air Force intelligence. Then investigators arrived in Fargo on October 4th. And interviewed the 2 air traffic controllers in the tower that night, as well as the pilot of the Piper Cub, a local physician. All of them corroborated Gorman's account.
Yeah. So like some of them wouldn't even hear what he was saying.
Yeah.
So.
Like these are credible witnesses at this point. Gorman wrote a sworn statement that he was convinced that there was a definite thought behind the object's maneuvers and that the aircraft could go faster, turn tighter, and climb steeper than his aircraft. Which, again, goes along with it goes along with the fact that we were saying that our technology is being unmatched at this point. And if anybody would know like what kind of maneuvers and what kind of capability this plane would have, or this object would have, it would be somebody who is flying the best of what we have at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Despite what seems to be evidence to the contrary, the Air Force concluded that the object was a combination of looking at the planet Jupiter and my favorite, are you ready? A weather balloon. Because it's always a weather balloon, but it's never a weather balloon. Like that is the Air Force / military's favorite statement.
It's like, oh, it's a gas leak. Like, guys.
Well, I mean, that's like in the other episode when we were talking about this, they thought it was the misidentification of what, Saturn? Was it Saturn?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so, and a weather balloon. Again, it's never a fucking weather balloon. Okay?
I've never seen a weather balloon in my life.
I haven't either. No, I remember that news story where that kid was supposedly in a weather balloon. He, like, floated away, and then it turned out to be a big hoax. That's the only time I've ever seen a weather balloon. And that wasn't even fucking real. So, it's never a weather balloon. According to Eric Smoen, Gorman insisted that it wasn't a weather balloon, because, I mean, again, he would fucking know. But the Air Materiel Command warned him not to divulge any further information or he would be subject to a court-martial.
Go figure.
Yeah, who would have thought? So that might be one reason why Gorman stayed pretty quiet throughout the rest of his military career, which took him to bases in Italy and throughout the U.S. He retired as a lieutenant colonel and died of pancreatic cancer in Texas in the early 1980s at the age of 59. Yeah. According to reports, most of the dogfight action would have been happening right before halftime, just north of the field. The National Centers for Environmental Information says visibility in Fargo that evening was 13.1 miles, and there was no record of precipitation. So football fans wouldn't have been obstructed by, like, clouds, snow, or rain, or a combination of all of the above. If what they saw was from, like, like a collective of UFO sightings from the same distance away. The fans might have seen like flashes of light, not unlike heat lightning. They also might have heard the sounds of Gorman's plane and whatever sound the UFO was making. We're saying might because at this point, no fans or players that were there that night have like come forward to say so.
And it might not have, like, the unidentified one might not have really had noise.
Yeah,
'Cause
exactly.
that happens a lot.
Yeah, and a lot of times, like football, you're not gonna like be looking up at the stars,
Right, you're
and
looking at the football.
I don't know why, but yeah, you're looking at the football.
Well, or the people, or your boyfriend/girlfriend, or the person that you like.
Yeah, yeah, or your partner. So a Facebook call out yielded some like.
Response.
Yeah, thank you. Of the 1940s, the players, which would be at least 90 years old at this point.
Whoa.
Yeah. So, Fargo football legend Sid Cichy, I don't know, played for the Bisons in 1947, but in 1948 was the first year of his longtime coaching job with Shanley High School Deacons. So, he wouldn't have been...
Present, like, in the area.
Yeah. And he died in 2006. So even if he was, it hasn't really been conclusive if he saw anything. Nobody came forward from that football game stating whether, like, either way. Whatever it was, it might have brought some positive karma. This is funny. This is really funny. Because the football team won. The Bisons won.
Yeah.
14-6 over Augustana that night, and a 9-game losing streak. And this was their first victory.
Oh my goodness.
At home in almost 2 years.
Oh my goodness.
Right? The shady, I had to like completely copy and paste this from the newspaper article because this next sentence is so fucking shady. All right, quote. Unfortunately, the good karma didn't last. The Bisons ended the year 3-7 and didn't win any games the next year.
Oh.
Is that not just so shady?
Wow.
Right? Okay, so even more witnesses from the football game or elsewhere have not come forward. It's not likely any kind of official report will be like changed,
Gotcha,
even if
yeah.
anybody comes forward. However, for what it's worth, an astronomer contracted by the Air Force to study Gorman, like the Gorman incident, took homeboy Gorman's side, and said that this was no weather balloon. Something his son backs up in the Project Blue Book episode.
Okay.
Paul Hynek said, quote, "My father loved Air Force pilots because he said, how can the Air Force deny reports by people they themselves trained?" Which, that is my whole, like, yelling from the top of a mountain point, because so many government officials have, like, come out and said, like, yes, this happens, or yes, this, and this happened. So, like, how the fuck are you going to deny it when, like, your own people are stating this is true?
Right.
So, yeah, that is the story of the Gorman dogfight. Short, sweet, to the point, but not really, because we don't really know how that happened and what happened.
But like you said, pretty credible, pretty, like,
Exactly.
believable, like, that it could have actually happened.
These are all, like, there's multiple witnesses. There's, 4 credible witnesses.
Yeah. Knowledgeable on aircraft
Yes.
and maneuvering and what's possible, what's not.
Yeah.
Weather balloons, they know about those too.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm saying it. We're pretty narcissistic if you don't think that there is other life forms out there.
Right.
And if your own people are stating, hey man, this happened, then motherfucker, it happened.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're welcome for this nice and short episode that Sierra did not fall asleep through this time.
It did it, guys.
But yeah, that's what I got for you. I just I wanted to do a short little alien one because we haven't done an alien one in a hot minute.
Yeah.
And I found this one. I was like, oh, damn. Okay, this is really interesting. Again, because the sources, like the people that are saying this is happening, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right, everyone. Sierra, plug the things.
All right, guys. So, Instagram, Facebook, Paranormal Podcast. I post pictures from the episodes, memes, life important and life event things. Any announcements that we have. So make sure you follow us so you can stay up to date on all the things.
And all of the happenings of my life falling apart. You're welcome.
Yeah. So, and then we have our website, paranormalpodcast.com, and you can find all the sources there, pictures, personal resources, and then if you want to contact us, you can use that as well, and send us a little
message. Some fucking cookie recipes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't want to use that contact, you can use our email, paranormalpodcast.com, or you can send us a message on Facebook or Instagram.
You know what we haven't said in a while? We have a P.O. box, guys. What's our address, Sierra?
Mostly you're saying that because you don't remember what it is.
No, I'm dead ass. I'm not even trying to beat around the bush. What the fuck is our address? Guys, I have no idea ever.
It is P.O. Box 1416, Monroe, North Carolina, 28111.
Yes.
That's 3 ones, guys.
You guys can contact us that way. I will never remember to stop by the P.O. box. So Sierra,
I will stop by the P.O. box.
I don't even remember which
guys.
key on my my keys, like my I have like a big chunk of keys, guys. Like it's a serious problem.
Honka of keys.
Yeah, seriously. I don't even remember which one of them opens it. Well, last time Sierra and I went in there together, I didn't even remember which P.O. box was ours.
I was just like, let her go first, and I was like, yeah, where is it? And
it's like, I have no fucking idea.
I don't know. It was like there's like little signs that tell you where the numbers are and everything.
And I'm just like looking at Sierra like, why the fuck are you doing this to me?
But it was pretty funny.
It was hilarious. But yeah, so that is our P.O. box. We also have a Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't said anything about that in a minute. I haven't harped on my little
soapbox.
My soapbox. Guys, be a Patreon. You love us, right? Probably. You tolerate us. You keep coming back. So there's some cool exclusive content on there. Also, the best way to fucking what's the word? Support. Thank you. Support us.
I didn't even say the word.
I saw you thinking about it. Support us is to share. Like, tell that rando down the street, you know, hey.
Leave us a review.
Yeah, do it. I dare you.
On wherever you listen to podcasts.
Yes. So, yeah, that's what we have for you guys. We're going to take a break.
A regularly scheduled break.
Yes, a regularly scheduled break. We're not going to just, like, peace out on you.
Yeah, I promise.
I mean, I don't make promises like that, but, like, we're not going to peace out on you. So, yeah, guys, we'll be... You know what? We're going to see them. We're not going to see them. Sorry, that's a little creepy. We're going to be back in your ears next year.
Oh my goodness.
Holy fucking shit, man.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
It's going to be 2021.
Oh my god. That's wild, guys. Holy shit. Okay, guys. It's got serious.
We made it.
We haven't made it yet.
Well, we're gonna make it.
Sure. If you guys can't tell, Sierra's the more optimistic of us both. The other day I was having to be the optimistic one, and I was like, I don't know how the fuck to do this. So yeah, all right, guys, peace out. Have a great.
Smell you later.
Have a great Christmas and all that fun stuff.
Go team.
Go team. Goodbye.